It's March 21st, 2015. And I said it was going to be a short clip, the last one, because I was just going to talk about the specific programming that was done. But I extended it just to explain a few other things. So anyway, with these different presidents and people, I was just trying to clarify with the individuals that I was meeting. It was partly because my parents acted as advisors to these various individuals. And sometimes I was asked questions and sort of tested as an advisor, you know, in the same capacity when I was really young. Before my brains were pretty much fried. My dog over there, she really likes, this is just an aside, she loves the guinea pigs. And I can't get rid of the guinea pigs because she might feel really lonely. I think she thinks they're like her puppies. If she thinks they're her puppies, she must think I'm really mean to put them up there. But no, she doesn't think they're her puppies because she likes to kind of try to herd them if I'm moving them outside or letting them have some free range time. So anyway, what I was saying is that among some of the individuals that I met is this guy from this Logans Roadhouse who owned all the Logans Roadhouse grills. And I've done like a wiki search on him since then, and see that he has he's connected. His lawyers for his place are a lot of the same lawyers that have worked with CIA in supposedly providing defenses for people who are at Guantanamo and that kind of thing. So I think that from what I've understood in my meeting him and that kind of thing, I think that that guy is pretty connected to the CIA. And I think it's possible that, knowing I was in the area in Nashville, Tennessee, and that I needed a job, it's possible that, you know, since he owns his own restaurant, he could hire in whichever individuals he wanted to be there in place when they offered me a job. And one of the main branch managers there was a guy named Matt, and it was the same Matt that had traveled out to Coos Bay at one time and was assisting in some of the programming for having me run off into some guy's car. And anyway, I am just going to take a pause for a minute and drink some coffee because I'm tired. I really need to get some new dishes. These just sort of came with the house, I guess you could say. And I really like looking for china and stoneware and other kinds of dishes. I think dishes can be interesting, like plateware and stuff. I think it's because it appeals to my artistic nature. You know, you can find some really interesting things and then think about how it would work with food on the plate too, you know. But as much as I'd like to get new dishes and a bunch of new cups and all kinds of things and silverware, I am not in a position financially right now to do that. So I will just get by with what is functional right now and has been here already. Although I do need a set of water glasses because I have one water glass. And I really regret ever buying that glass, because when I first bought that exact same kind of water glass, my parents, I don't know what the deal was, but I don't know if someone had a bet running on it that I was going to get that water glass at the dollar store for $1 or not or what, but I got that water glass in when I was in Oregon a really long time ago. I got it at the Pony Village at the dollar store. And, I mean, I was a teen at the time. And it's this kind of thick glass, angled, cloudy. I'll have to show it to you. Well, let's see, where is it? Here it is. It's this. Okay, this is not the kind of glass that I really wanted to get. I just felt like, okay, it's something I can hold. It's a good width, and I can hold on to it, that kind of thing. But as to the appearance of it, it's not my style. But you see how it's kind of distorted glass. Well, after I got this glass, I was like, my parents were like, oh, because they thought I was going to get normal, like, clear glasses to have in my house, you know. Because people were watching how I was spending my money. I was getting watched by the government about, you know, what I did with everything. And so instead of buying a set of glasses, I bought one. I mean, because I didn't have a lot of money, I thought I'll just get one glass, and I got this one. And green glass is not always in vogue either. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. So all of a sudden, then my parents were remodeling one of the houses over here, and they put like this slightly green tinted mottled kind of glass throughout the entire living room, and it has a weird bent effect that almost looks like, if you look in the window, it's like it looks like things are moving, like they're shifting, kind of like this might, because it's a distorted glass. I don't know how to describe that exactly. Kind of look like a hammered glass. It's like a hammered glass in a way, kind of hammered and then angled and everything. So, you know, imagine like looking through this in your house, but so they did the entire house like that. I guess either to remember things or because someone made them do it, who works for the government, who thought it was hilarious, and like, you know, whatever kinds of glass you get, you have to do your windows that way. I mean, there have been some weird bets that have gone on, and I would not even doubt it that would be the case. So, you know, and then it's really a thick bottom. The kind of glass, I was just like, if I get a bee in my bonnet about something, and this is a total tangent, but I don't just talk about weird sounding things, I talk about some normal sounding things too. If I get a bee in my bonnet about something, I really have a hard time sometimes letting go of the idea. And the idea that I had for the glasses I wanted, I was looking for everywhere, and I couldn't find them. And I couldn't find them for under like $100 for a set of 4. And I was like, you know, there has to be something that's cheaper than that. And I just wanted regular, clear glasses that were drinking glasses that were that didn't flare out, and were from head to top, from top to bottom, were the same width around, and had a thin rim, not a super thick rim. It didn't have to be really thin, like, you know, it would just break if you barely tweaked it. But it had a sort of a thin rim at the top. Plain, I think it's a kind of barware glass, like but I'm not talking about like one of those Cosmopolitan or just straight something like that. I'm talking about something that looks more like a real drinking glass. But I wanted that in the 8 ounce and also in like little 4 ounce kind of glass. And alternately, I also like the diamond shaped kind of the whiskey looking glasses, or the Scotch look glass, where it has a pattern on it that is kind of diamond patterned around, and it's clear. I like those too, and I've had those before for drinking glasses, like tumblers. And anyway, I couldn't find any tumblers like that anywhere. Like everything that I was finding was, oh, this is a candle, and it doesn't look too good right now because I actually made this as a homemade candle here, but there's candle wax all over this thing. Everything that I was finding was like some huge, thick, kind of round shaped glass, and that wasn't what I was looking for. And I was just so stubborn. I just thought, if I'm not finding what I like to pay for an entire set, I may as well just get one glass to get by until I do find what I like. So instead of getting a set of glasses that were clear and tumblers that were clear and would have been more presentable than the green glass. I got this green glass for $1 at the dollar store, and every time I did, let me see, look at that. See how that glass is sort of distorted looking? And then, you know, and then it's got these angles on it, and then it's almost like a Coke glass kind of an idea, like a soda fountain kind of deal. It's just a little more like restaurant-like. It's not my style, exactly. But, it looks like one of those weird beach, like distorted beach ball things where you see those things at the beach, and I don't know what they are. And it's like a ball, and then it's hanging in like a fishnet, and I've seen people use them as decorations sometimes, and I have no idea what they're called, but they're made sometimes out of that same type of glass, or the same color. And so anyway, I got onto that whole topic because I needed some coffee because I'm really tired. Something on the bottom here. So anyway, this guy who showed up in Coos Bay, he worked at he worked at this Logans, and he was also in this so he'd come over to this Coos Bay area, and he was part of this police group. And most of the guys that I noticed had something to do with cops. Like, there were different cop cars around sometimes, which didn't seem to be a big deal. They were sometimes in the distance, and then other times they were off-duty cops. Like, I knew them from this fight club that they had going on. And I was part of a fight club. I don't know if it was the original fight club. I mean, there's probably been a fight club going on for decades. I don't think it's a new idea. I think it's gone on for a really long time. And for whatever reason, I wanted to be part of it because I didn't have any friends. I wanted to be included in something. And it's really sad. That as a young girl, you know, I was so friendless. I thought that if I was in a fight club, I might have some cop friends. And, you know, these cops in this area are the same ones that have been defaming me. Working with the government to say horrible things about me. To create a rap sheet for purposes of making me sound, you know, when I had my babies, every time it's been used to make me sound violent, or like I'm criminally prone, or have mental problems or issues with people in the area, that kind of thing. So and they were also using me. Like, little did I know that here I was thinking I was being included with them. And they were going along with programming of me in the area to facilitate future rapes of me. So even though some of those cops did not rape me themselves over here in this area, although a couple of them did, and I was being forced to retract what I said about them. But a couple of them did. Not a whole. I don't remember like a whole ton of them over here doing that. Specifically, there were a whole ton of them from Washington State that did. And maybe the guys from Washington State felt it was easier to do because I wasn't at all bonding with them, or thought I was, but in a fight club with them. And so maybe some of the ones in the Coos area, a couple of them maybe felt a little less willing to do that to me because they felt maybe slightly sorry for me. But there were a few others that didn't feel very sorry for me, and wanted to rape me, and they did, a couple of them, and And more importantly, some of them just facilitated programming of me so that I could be raped later by other individuals. So I'll tell you more about that in the next clip.